Welcome to another video for WinBidPro version 15 by GDS Estimating. In this one I want to talk about changing components or assemblies in a job or a framing system so that you can use, say, alternate horizontals or verticals and have the detail show up on your shop drawings. So there's a few things, not only to get the pricing and the part numbers right, but to get the shop drawings right. So let's look at all those things. Firstly, if you make changes like adding details to a framing system and even part numbers, it's often a good time to work with the master catalog or the master list of frames and not an elevations frame, because making changes to parts and details and all those things in an elevation does not save those to the master framing system list. So we're using frame number 20, a T14000 IO for tube light. And I'm actually going to go to the master framing system list. I'm going to find system number 20. And I can do that by clicking this little filter tool, checking that box, and then editing that system. So now I'm working with the master system, and I can always reapply that to the elevation or the job, the entire job, if I need to. So what I want to do as an example, if you want to change a sill member to a different profile and a different part, or if it's a horizontal or whatever part it is, this is kind of the process. So first thing that you need to do is enter the part number, and then the second thing is, back up a little bit. So the first thing is actually the profile. So if I have an alternate horizontal that's, say, a 4.5 inch profile, first thing I want to do is enter that, and that's going to draw it correctly on the screen. Second thing is to enter the part. Third thing is to enter the detail. So I don't actually know the part number off the top of my head, and I'm not looking at a catalog, so what I want to do is actually go to the TubeLight website. So here I am at tubelight.com. Now I'm going to go, I could search, but I've already tried this with TubeLight and it takes me to a different spot. So I'm going to actually go just to products and storefront. And then here's the 14,000 series system. And then they're real good about having all the installation instructions and CAD drawings and everything. So I'm going to be using the T14000, and I want the DWG for that entire system. And sometimes it doesn't understand what you're trying to do, so it thinks it's not safe and all that, but I trust the TubeLight site, so I'm going to continue. And then you when it does that, you kind of have to go again and download the thing again. So now, well, at least that worked the last time. But I actually already have it, so I'm not going to mess with that anymore. I think it's my antivirus is being extra safe with it. So I've downloaded the file, but I actually want to copy it to the correct folder in my TubeLight catalog. So if you've installed the program, or actually a TubeLight catalog years ago, chances are it's in your C drive under WinBidPro. But if you've recently installed WinBidPro, and let's say in the last year or two, it's going to put things in the users folder. So you'd want to go to your C drive, users, whatever your local or your current login folder is, and then you would go to documents. So once I open up documents, so users, this is my login, documents, and then WinBidPro. So this is where all the vendor files are installed. So then I can open up TubeLight. Then I can open up vendor details and start looking for the type of system. So it's a storefront 14,000 series. So now I've copied that file that I downloaded. Now I'm going to paste it in here. So you'll notice this logo or icon for CAD files. That's our built-in CAD program with WinBidPro. I'm going to open up the CAD file, and then it's going to show me this whole perimeter sheet or detail sheet. Now we're looking for the horizontal in this case, so because I'm just going to do an optional horizontal. So this is a 4.5 inch horizontal. So what I'm going to do is copy this one detail, assembly detail, out of this sheet and save it to another document. So I'm going to click and drag to highlight that whole detail. I'm going to go to Edit, Clip, Clip Copy, and then I'm going to create a new document. Then I'm going to go to Clip, Edit Clip, Paste. And then it's going to let me put it in there. I like to actually put it, so I'm zooming out, and I actually like to put it so that it's not on top of that XYZ thing. So I'm going to put it right about there. And so there's my detail. So now I'm going to save that. I'm going to hit Control S, or I can go up to File Save, or I can hit this Save As or Save icon. And how come it's not letting me save? What's going on here? There we go. Save as, I guess. And I want to put it in the same folder, but I don't want it to be a VDML file. I want it to be a DWG. So I'm going to say it's a, say, 2007 DWG file. Now, obviously, you're going to want to name it. So I'm going to say T14, whoops, 14,000 alt horizontal. And I guess I don't need spaces. So I'm going to do that to save this file. So now I'm good. I can actually close all that. I can minimize my Explorer window. I can minimize that. Now we're back to the framing system. So first thing I'm going to do is put the detail in. I double click in that field where the detail file name would go. It opens up the folder for the details in TubeLight. I go to 14,000 series, and I can sort this by date, and there's the file I just created. So now I've added that to my horizontal 2 detail, and I can view it. So this is where I can actually see my part numbers. So that's the next thing that has to happen, or it doesn't matter what order, but there's 3 things. Remember, the part number, the profile, and the detail. So it's going to be an E14104, and there's that part, and it's going to be a A244040. Wow. A244040. There's that part, and then it's a T14047. T14047. So there's all my parts there. If there are clips and things, you're going to want to put those. So here's the 4th thing. If there are clips or whatever, shear blocks, you can put those into the miscellaneous section and under horizontal 2 here. So let's say it's the P1134. And there's the clip. So that pretty much covers what we need, assuming the glazing gasket's the same, and I'm hoping it is. So we've got our detail, and we've got, oh, and that was a 2A, was it? So we can put the label even. So 2A is the label, and that will show up in the shop drawings.